All you need is books. All you need is books, books. Books is all you need. Ooh. As a disclaimer, I am fully aware that there are grammatical errors in this song, that my voice isn't as great as the original, and that I look hideous. So, let's just pretend that I wasn't really happy because I have a lot of manga to haul, shall we? Hello, beautiful bookworms! My name is Katarina, and as you can see from the excitement, welcome to my channel. I am hauling manga. Yeah, you heard me correctly, so I have a lot of manga to haul. I do have one graphic novel and some comics, but the rest of it is all manga. And so, without further ado, enter with me in this wonderland of beauty of I have so many things to haul. As per usual, you already know, I didn't bought all of these. I was gifted these, which, thank you. You already know, all of you by now, who gives this to me. I am very thankful, because if it wasn't the case, I wouldn't be able to do this gigantic hauls for you. So yeah, moving along. So since pretty much all of this haul is going to be manga, let's show first the graphic novel that I have. And so the first one that I have is Something is Killing the Children. This is the first volume of this graphic novel, and this is by James Tynion or Tynion the Fourth. I'm not really sure. If you know, tell me in the comments down below. Werther Deledere and Miquel Muerto. Cool. And this was a nominee for the 2020 Best New Series Eisner Awards. And if this sounds remotely like something you might know, maybe it's because the name of the author of this, the writer of this, is the same dude that is writing my latest obsession, which is the Joker comics. Yes, it is the same dude. And so, why not read something else that he wrote? So from what I gather, this is like your typical horror sort of story set in a small town. And I don't want to know a lot about this, but from what I understand, there's something that's killing the children, as the title of this tells you. It's not a mistake. There's really something killing the children. And there's this girl. It's a girl. Is it? Yeah. It's a stranger girl, and she arrives to that town, and she is the only one that knows and can kill these monsters, apparently. I don't know. This just sounds great. And I want to read it. And the art of this is pretty cool. I really enjoyed it. It kind of reminds me, for some reason, of those indie video games that you play with strange characters. And I don't know, I want to read this. I really enjoyed the writing of Tynion, whatever, the fourth. And I want to know more about his works. And this sounded great. Going right into comics and talking about the dude again, we have issue 4 of The Joker, which I already read, because of course I did. At the time of filming this, it's kind of the middle of July, and I've already read this. However, I don't know when I'm going to post this, so I'm just telling you that I already read this. This is a noir sort of detective story. It's about Gordon mainly, but now the Joker is being more prominent in the story. And this one was actually a very insightful, deep issue, and I really love the way that they're doing the approach to the Joker, because in here, he's not completely insane. And in the monologues that he has here, he's actually quite sane. Just there's something there that's not in his... The morality of the thing is not great, but he's quite sane and he knows what he's doing, and he's enlisting Gordon to help him. Will Gordon accept, or will he try to kill him? We don't know. We want to know because we have been loving this. Are you tired of hearing this name? Well, here it goes again. This is... I can never pronounce this because this is obviously a word play with The Last House on the Left, but the name of this is The Nice House on the Lake. And for me, my tongue is like But this is also written by James Tynion IV. This dude is ruling comics. I don't know what is going on. And this is the first issue. This is also by Alvaro Martinez Bueno and Jordi Belair. This is the first issue, as I was saying, of a new series, which is supposed to be sort of a horror story, a mixed media horror story about this house where people are invited to go. And one of the things that I already noticed, because I haven't read this yet, is that these symbols, each one of them represents one of the characters. So I thought each issue would be about a character because there's supposed to be 12 issues of it. However, there is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, only 10 supposed main characters. I don't know. But as you can see, this one is yellow and the others are not. So does this mean that this supposed character is the main character? I don't know. There's so much mystery in this already. So from what I gather is a bunch of people that are invited for this party or this thing that is going on in this nice house on the lake. But there's death and creepy stuff. I don't know. I want to know. Then we have issue 3 of the crossover between RWBY and Justice League. If you don't know, I love RWBY. I have seen all of the animation finally. I have all of the manga that is coming out of RWBY, and now I have this crossover, which I haven't read and I don't know what it is about, but supposedly it's a crossover between these characters. If you don't know, RWBY is an animation started by Rooster Teeth. I would highly recommend you watch it. It's about kick-ass, badass girls. There's also men, of course. And it's great. They're huntresses, they destroy creatures of evil. It's really cool. There's a lot of political environments and situations that are going on, and it's a nice fantasy, and I want to know how this crossover is happening. Then we have the second issue of Red Room, and this is the anti-social network. This doesn't have people who wrote this. Ed Piskor. Okay. I don't know, this is supposed to be one of those social networks kind of horror, you know, when you see people being tortured live and when you have a lot of situations going on that actually happen nowadays, which is really sad. But it has taglines like introducing Poker Face, Call His Bluff, and Meet Your Maker, and others like the internet urban legend is true, answers reveal where do the torture stars find their victims, a complete terror tale in every issue. So I think it's supposed to be a social commentary utilizing gore and horror stories. This particularly sounds to have a lot to do with social media, which I am intrigued and interested about. And the last one, I had no idea this existed, but as I am obsessed with horror, as you might have understood, this is apparently by a small label of DC, which is DC Horror. I had no idea this existed. Thank you, DC. And it's The Conjuring, The Lover. And this is issue 1 of only supposed to be 5 issues, I think. And this is so gothic creepy, I cannot stand. And if you're a fan of the actual Conjuring, that bitch right there, do you remember a movie called The Nun? It's that bitch. I don't know what it has to do with the main plot of the comic series, but I am excited. I have no idea what this is about, but the artwork of this looks badass and gothic and creepy, and it's the Conjuring universe. We like the Conjuring universe in this house, some more than others. I haven't watched Conjuring 3 yet. Jesus, my life. And now we can all go for what we are really here for, which is the crazy amount of manga that I have here. I mean, does somebody want to donate shelves? Because I need shelves for this. So first of all, a recurrent one on this channel, which I can't say a lot about because I want to read the series and make an actual review of it, because this is really hard to explain to people without doing a review of the series. So I got another volume of Umineko no naku koro ni, or Umineko When They Cry, and this is by Ryukushio 7, and the artwork of this specific one, because the artwork always changes with each volume, is by Kei Natsumi. The artwork is fine. I've seen better, I've seen worse. This is horror fantasy. It has a lot of gore, it has time travel-ish things, and it has family drama, which is always nice. I don't want to talk a lot about this because, I mean, if you've been following this channel for a while, you already know that I buy these and that I have these and that I will eventually read all of them and do a review for them and explain to you why the hell I like this. So yeah, we have one more and there's only 4 left in this collection, so we can do this. Then we have continuations of stuff that I am reading already. We have The Witch and the Beast, Volume 2. This is by Kosuke Satake, and this is mainly a story about these two. They are partners in an agency that has to do with magic. Mainly they solve magical problems. He's sort of a magician in training, and she's a berserker. Like an actual motherfucking beast monster. It's awesome. And the thing is, they are looking for witches. In this world, witches are evil and they only curse people and only do evil things. They're not ever good. And one of them, I'm not going to say who it is, although you know it pretty fast in the first volume, but for the sake of it, one of them is cursed by a witch, and so they want to capture her and finish the curse. I don't know what this volume is about. I've read the first one. I really enjoyed it. The art of this is beautiful. I really like how they depict expressions and the hairs and the places, and it's pretty cool. And let's see about the story. I'm enjoying it so far, but I only read 1 volume, so I don't know. Then we have a Inu Asano manga, and it is, say it with me, Dead Demons, DEDEDE Destruction, Volume 3. One day, I won't be able to say this, but I haven't read Volume 2 yet, but I read the first one, and as pretty much all of Inu Asano's work, it blew me away. It's a little bit of a sci-fi-ish thing. It's about how aliens parked their ships on top of Tokyo and they block the sun, and so it's kind of an apocalyptic situation because you have no sun, people are suffering from deficits in vitamins, people are suffering from not being able to eat crops and to like buy crops and arrange crops because there's no sun, so things don't grow, there's a lot of pollution, but the aliens aren't doing actually anything, they're just standing there. And they don't really know what to do, so people are just kind of doing their lives because they're not really threatened with war, but shit is going down. I mean, I don't know, and it was supposed to be a little bit of a sci-fi-ish, but as per usual with Asano, it's a little bit more darker and dramatic than just the premise that it's supposed to be. So I have the 3rd one already, I have to read the 2nd one, but I'm very excited for this. The artwork of this is beautiful as per usual. I'm just gonna show you, there's so much things going on in here, but he just uses so much detail for you to understand everything, and it looks realistic, and I really enjoy it. Speaking of Asano, I have another manga of his, and this is one of his standalones, and it is A Girl on the Shore. This is still wrapped, so we're going to do an unwrapping really quick. You guys already know I can't do this in one sitting, so let's just... Well, that worked out. Okay, let's just unwrap this shit. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. This is his artwork. I mean, I am in love with this mangaka's work. I really am. And to prove to you, I really did took it off in one go. So I've been trying not to be spoiled by this. I've seen a 1-star review for this on Goodreads, which said, an erotic journey with a dark twist. I don't like it. And I was like, I think you missed the point of what this was supposed to be. But what it says in the back is, the longing for something bigger. From the Eisner Award-nominated Inu Asano, creator of Soul and In, which I've already read and loved, and Nishihara Holograph, which I haven't read but I will love probably, comes one of his most challenging works yet, an intense teen romance set in what may at first glance be one of the sleepiest places in Japan. So it's a small-town setting, from what I gather. When Komei and Keisuke's relationship begins to take shape, it is apparent that they are both searching for something. Maybe Keisuke wants something more than a kiss from the fair Komei. Maybe Komei is looking for someone better than Misaki, the local playboy. But what they find in each other over the course of a summer might be far greater than anything they were expecting. Their lives are going to change, and this will all transpire before high school exams. So, again, it's a coming-of-age story, which Inu Asano does greatly. He did it in Solanin, and I was in love. He's doing it in DEDEDE. Dead Demons, DEDEDE, whatever the fuck that is. And I'm loving it. And there's always this dark twist of longing and sadness in his novels, so in these mangas, sorry. So I'm really excited for this, but I'm trying not to spoil myself and see the artwork is always amazing. Asano's artwork is for sure one of my favorites of all time, so I'm excited. Then I already talked about these girls, but I have volume 3 of RWBY, the official manga. So this is by Bunta Kinami, and it's based on the, what have I done? Look. Can you see it there? Jesus, I hate when this happens. Okay, we are moving forward. So this is based on the official animation. So if you don't want to watch the animation on Rooster Teeth or anywhere, Crunchyroll, I think it's available on Crunchyroll, I'm not sure. If you don't want to watch animation, which I totally recommend that you do because the fucking fight scenes are amazing, but if you don't want to watch it, you have a manga to read, and this is volume 3 of the manga. I'm not going to talk about this because I've talked about RWBY forever and ever, so you're probably tired of hearing me saying it, but I have one more volume. Then I've got the first volume of the winner of the Eisner for Best Manga Series, I think, and that is Witch Hat Atelier, which I have had my eye on this for such a long time, and I've said the art of this is beautiful, the story sounds amazing, and I think that this is worth it. And then it won an Eisner, and I was like, why am I not the judge for these shit? And quickly it just blew out of the proportions, and now you can't find it anywhere. So I got the first one, and I don't know if I can read all of them before they disappear from the market, and let's hope so. So this is by Kamome Shirahama, and I'm just going to read the back because I'm trying not to know a lot about these things. Oh, okay. So it says the magical adventure that took Japan by storm is finally here from acclaimed DC and Marvel cover artist Kamome Shirahama. So I had no idea that this person was the cover artist for DC and Marvel. Okay. It says a touch of magic. Meet young Coco, curious and bright and desperate to learn how magic's wrought. But witches keep their secrets hidden tight, and witches, Coco knows, are born, not taught. Then one day, Coco spies upon a witch as he prepares the charms for which she earns, and sees that, like her skill with thread and stitch, the truth is magic's something she can learn. Now with this knowledge, Coco starts to try to teach herself the witch's way with charms, and yet her aspirations go awry as Coco's magic causes grievous harm. To set things right, young Coco leaves her home, and so begins the tale within this tome. Oh, that rhymed! Oh, I love when people do this. I don't know if it's intentional, but I love it. And, I mean, magic apprentice and causing mayhem because they're small and they don't know what they're doing. I mean, I can relate. And the artwork of this. I mean, don't you want to read this? Look at that! They're so fucking cute! I can't. And it has some steampunkish vibes, if you can see. So I'm very excited for this. Then this one, I don't know what you think, because I've heard a lot about this, but I've never read it, and it's my way of trying, I guess. This is Bakemonogatari, and this is volume 1. It's by Ogreto. I think that's how you say the name. And the original story is by Nisioi Sin. I don't know how to pronounce his names, like, for real. I try really hard, but I have to have a Japanese course, so I know how to speak like these people. So this is very strange. The first part of this grabbed my attention, and this was gifted to me by my boyfriend as everything, and he said I just found this so interesting, and everyone knows about it, and it's so intriguing, and it has a lot of spin-offs. And so why am I not reading this? Do I like it? Do I not? If I don't like it, I will sell it. If I like it, I will keep doing the collection, I think. But the beginning of this, it's very interesting. It has this page that says, monsters don't come to you. And then it says, they're there from the start, at every moment, in every place. And I'm like, okay then I will read it, I guess. But it says, one day, high school student Kiyomi Arararagi, okay, catches a girl named Hitachi Senjogahara when she trips. But much to his surprise, she doesn't weight anything at all. She says an encounter with a so-called crab took away all her weight. Monsters have been here since the beginning, always, everywhere. And there's a lot of stuff. used for maths or for killing. So I don't know. I want to read it. It's about monsters. We like it. Then we have this gigantic ass bitch, which is something that recently came out. It's an omnibus edition of 3 volumes of manga in one, and I think that this is going to be very much worth it. If I'm wrong, I will be extremely sad. This is called When a Magician's Pupil? Yeah. Smiles. And this is by Chisaki Kanai. First of all, this fucking cover. Then, where the fuck are... I can never find the beautiful imagery when I want to, but it's pretty. The art is pretty. And thirdly, I'm just gonna read you the back, and you will understand. It says, O Kanamae, a magician's pupil, is incapable of feeling emotion. That is almost incapable. One circumstance in particular does bring his feelings to the surface, but the result of such an occasion is unimaginably sinister. Oka's complete story of deadly affection unfolds in this new deluxe omnibus. Do I fucking need to say more? You don't want to read this? Okay then, maybe your soul isn't dark and twisted as mine, but because mine is, I want to read it. Then we have 3 volumes of Shujo Oshimi's works, and I mean, don't we expect this at this point? So I've got Blood on the Tracks Volume 6. I only read 2 volumes of this because I just want to binge them all. You know, I love those first 2 volumes so much, and I was so fucking traumatized by that I was like, I want to binge all of it, just be traumatized at once and love it. But I am getting the feeling that I cannot wait for the ending of this to actually read all of them, because I want to know. I want to know. Oof, the art of this, beautiful. This is kind of an exploration of the Oedipus complex and a very not healthy relationship between a mother and her son. Wow, if you have trigger issues with mother-son relationships, do not fucking read this. Do not. Also, if you have trigger warnings with psychological manipulation, do not read this. It's not good for your soul. If you like coming-of-age horror psychological stories, please, here, it's yours. Then I have a new print. This is a standalone manga, and it is Shino Can't Say Her Name by the same author. You will probably remember that I already read this, but I read it in Spanish. I have a Spanish copy of this, and I never thought in my life this would come out in English. It did, and it's gorgeous. You can't touch it, of course, but this paper is like that paper that you can touch and feel. I can't explain, but it's different from the normal covers. It's a bit of rough, and I love it, and the edition is gorgeous. It's just wow, and I love it. And this is a story of this teenage girl. She stutters and she can't say her name, so she doesn't have a lot of friends. People think she's a stuck-up. People also kind of make fun of her, and she tries really hard to make friends and to live her life in school and to actually be able to, once in her lifetime, pronounce her name. And it's beautiful. It's again a coming-of-age story. Shuzo Oshimi focuses a lot on that. It's not a horror one, although it has some psychological triggers, particularly for bullying and such. But it's also a very hopeful and beautiful story. So I think that if you're afraid of any of the other thematics of Shuzo Oshimi's psychological horror, you should start with this one, just for the sake of the art style that he does. It's beautiful, because this one isn't terrifying. And then we have Inside Mari Volume 7. I do believe there will be 9 of these, I am not sure, but I haven't read any of this. This is a body swapping situation in which this pubescent boy changes into the body of this girl. He wakes up in the body of this girl, he doesn't know why, and he doesn't know where his body is, if she's inside his body, or if she disappeared and where's his body. I mean, it's kind of soul swapping kind of thing. Freaky Friday, you know? And it's supposed to be a little bit darker than that. I have heard some criticism that the way that it deals with female bodies is kind of strange, but I think that's the point. I think the point is to be a social criticism about that, and also to be a coming of age story. So I don't know. I want to read it. Then we have a beautiful collector's edition of Cardcaptor Sakura by Clamp, and this is volume 8. This must be almost finishing. From what I know of the story, I've watched the anime a long time ago, and actually fairly recently again, and this is probably ending, but I'm just seeing this shit in big and with beautiful paper, and I love Clamp's art, and I just love these covers, and I love Sakura. Cardcaptor Sakura was a big part of my childhood, and it's a big influence on the person that I am today. So, the good parts, okay, not the creepy dark parts. So, yeah, I'm finishing this. And then we have the gorgeous, the miraculous, the beautiful ending to the Hellsing Deluxe editions. This is the third one. It's so big. And it smells so good. And I love it. I have been perusing. And the sheer amount of gore in big. Wow. Okay, so trigger warnings for people being mutilated if you don't want to see it in 3, 2, 1. Bitch. I love it. So, Hellsing, vampire stories with zombies, with Nazis. Basically the story of a war between England and Germany, but with fighting priests, vampires, and zombies, which, yes, this is one of the goriest things I've ever read. And my sole vampire crush, Alucard, exists within these pages. I don't know where he fucking is. I wanted to show you the art style of this. Oh, there's several pages. Oh. Oh, I'm in fucking love. Look at that. Ooh, okay. But I've read this as well. I have the 10 manga volumes edition of this in Spanish, which I do believe they will get a new owner because now I have the deluxe edition and I don't need anything else in my fucking life because this is so fucking gorgeous. I love it. So we had a 30-minute haul. I'm sorry to all of you. So that's going to be all for today. I thought somebody had broken into my home. Sorry. So as I was saying, that's going to be all for today. If you know any of these, tell me something in the comments down below. If you're interested in some, just talk to me. I love people talking to me. So that's going to be all for today, and happy readings to you all. Bye! All you need is love. All you need is love. Love is all you need.